The typically serious sheriff did manage to crack a smile when he talked about seeing internet memes of himself.
One of them came out like the day of the fire, right after the fire, and then another couple, and my staff showed them to me, and I said, my first thought was find this guy and make him stop.
But soon, he learned the viral memes put smiles on the faces of the people in the community, some of them depicting Honea as a superhero. He says he's flattered, but the credit goes to his staff.
It's my people that are doing that, and I just happen to be kind of on the front edge of that, if that makes any sense.
Just really a heart of gold.
I mean, she's tough, but she has a heart of gold.
I'm a problem solver, and I have a heart of gold. Thank you, James.
See, ladies, a heart of gold.
But I know you have a heart of gold and have done many good deeds.
You've been most helpful.
Yeah, that's me. Heart of gold.
You have a heart of gold.
18 karat.
Hello and welcome to the Hearts of Gold podcast. I am so excited for today's guest because we have been able to, after much back and forth, we were finally able to get the one, the only Sheriff Kory Honea here in the Hearts of Gold podcast studio today. And I am so excited for our conversation. I'm going to read a little, if you're local here in Butte County, he needs no introduction, but I am going to read this bio just because we have some people that aren't here that watch all over the nation. So today we're joined by Butte County Sheriff Kory Honea, a dedicated public servant whose career in law enforcement has been rooted in protecting and serving the communities of Northern California for more than 3 decades. Sheriff Honea began his career with the Butte County Sheriff's Office in 1993 and has served in nearly every facet of law enforcement, including corrections, patrol, investigations, and leadership roles within both the Sheriff's Office and the District Attorney's Office. Along the way, he rose through the ranks to become Chief Investigator, then Under Sheriff, before being appointed as Butte County's 31st Sheriff in 2014. Known throughout the region for his calm, steady leadership during some of Butte County's most challenging moments, including the Camp Fire in 2018, Sheriff Honea became an unexpected local celebrity. In fact, when one particular community member, James, created the first viral "In Honea We Trust" meme, it's safe to say the sheriff wasn't exactly asking for superhero status. But before long, the internet did what the internet does, and suddenly Sheriff Honea was being compared to everyone from Chuck Norris to the Avengers. We'll hear maybe some more of that story later in the podcast, including what Sheriff Honea really thought when those memes started taking over social media. Sheriff Honea holds a law degree from the Taft School of Law, is a member of the California State Bar, and continues to lead one of the county's most important public institutions with a deep commitment to the people he serves. Thank you so much for your service, and welcome to the Hearts of Gold podcast.
Well, thank you. It's certainly an honor to be here, and I appreciate it. Very kind bio, very nice bio. I appreciate that. Thank
yes,
you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for saying yes to a video podcast, which actually you host your own podcast as well.
I do have a podcast I started about a year ago called The Sheriff's Mic, and I cover all kinds of topics that are public safety or criminal justice related.
Yeah, and there's a couple that have several 100,000 views, I think.
There have been a couple that have gone
really popped
viral.
off.
Yeah. It seems like, especially the ones dealing with concealed weapons and firearms,
yeah, sure.
People get really excited about those, and those tend to go viral.
Yeah. I know. I was going on. I was like, dude, there's a lot of views on these, so that's so cool.
Yeah.
So we like to start with all of our themed questions here have to do with gold. We're the Gold Rush region. And so what I like to do is kind of start with golden beginnings. So if you had kind of a get to know you, your life before Butte County, almost like a yellow brick road type of situation. Was there a life before Butte County? Have you always lived in this region, Northern California, or how did you get here? And you know what? Before I do that, let's get your mic a little bit closer.
Yeah,
too.
I can do that for sure. Is that a little better? Okay,
Yeah.
Perfect. We can do that. Of course, there was a life before Butte County. I didn't just come out of the womb as sheriff of Butte County. But I have been in Northern California my entire life. I was actually born in Susanville,
Oh,
California.
okay. Yes. Been to the
And-
movie theater in
Have you really? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And lived there until about halfway through high school, and then moved to Anderson, California,
Okay.
and finished high school in Anderson. And then I came to Chico to attend Butte College. So right out of high school, I went to Butte College.
Yeah.
And actually I was thinking about pursuing some kind of career in sports medicine or physical therapy or something like that. So I didn't really have an intention to go into law enforcement, but by happenstance, I fell into an opportunity that let me go to work for the Shasta County Sheriff,
Oh, yeah.
working on Lake Shasta.
Oh, wow.
And that really changed my trajectory into law enforcement. So finished at Butte College, of course, and then was able to get a job in law enforcement. And after I had, I worked at the Shasta County Sheriff's Office for a couple of years, and I got laid off because of budget cuts.
Oh, budget cuts.
And Butte County was the only place in Northern California that I was feeling comfortable living in, was hiring. There were a few other places, and I applied at a couple of other places. I applied at Butte County, and I applied at Napa County.
Oh, yeah.
And on the day that Butte County called me and offered me a job, I accepted. And within an hour, Napa County called me, offered me a job, and I said, I've already accepted at Butte County. And the rest is history. Here I am.
We got you first.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
We can move fast.
Right.
That's the
Exactly.
thing.
Exactly.
We
Exactly.
can take
Yeah.
action.
Yeah.
Whew,
Yeah,
that would
well,
have been a close one.
Otherwise, I probably would be in Napa County, and who knows?
In wine country.
In
Yeah,
wine
you don't want to
country.
be. You don't want to be.
Yeah. I would not trade Butte County for any other county in the state of California. Frankly, I think that we have it all here, and yeah,
Yes.
maybe Napa's known for its wine, but there's a lot of things in Butte
Yeah.
County that I am very thankful for and very
Yeah.
proud to be part of.
Yeah. Oh, love hearing that. I love that story. That's really, oh man, when I think about how close, within an hour.
Within an hour.
Oh my gosh.
Within an hour,
that's
exactly right.
wild.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, so you have very familiar with the region.
Yes.
What we kind of like to ask a hidden gem, like, is there anything that maybe in this area not enough people know about, and maybe you don't want them to know about it?
All right.
So choose wisely what
Okay.
you want to share as far as your hidden gem.
So I'll actually tell you, as soon as you said that, the first thing that popped to my mind is our people. Now, I'll say that I think, as a moment ago, I talked about Butte County being an incredible place.
Yeah.
And I think Butte County is, a really great place in terms of, you've got your valley environment, you've got your foothill environment. We've got, towns and cities that are big enough to enjoy, restaurants and things to do and
Yeah.
so forth, but they're small enough that you don't have to deal with traffic and all of the other
Yeah.
problems of big cities. So there's all of that going on. Plus, we are close to everything. If you want to
are.
get to San Francisco, you're
Yes.
a couple hours away. If you
Yep.
want to get to the mountains to ski, you're a couple hours away. If you
Yep.
want lakes, they're all here. All those kinds of things. But I keep coming back to the people in this county, in this region, in this community are really incredible people. That's one of the reasons that I actually have continued to be sheriff for
Yeah.
as long as I have been. They're just genuine, good-hearted people that live in this community and have been through so many things, but they still are resilient and
Yeah.
still just are supportive. So the hidden gem of our community is the fact that it's made up of incredible people.
I love that. That's so good. That's so good to hear too, because I think some communities or even towns, or you hear about, even just in California, oh, this town is bleh, or whatever. You know what I mean? And I do hear that, and I feel that living here, having been born and raised, both James and myself. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's let me riff off of that.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to take Oroville for example. So unfortunately, Oroville gets a bad rap, right?
Sure.
There are people who think Oroville is, a kind of a rough town, filled with, more crime.
Yes.
That the people
We've heard Horrorville before.
Exactly right. You hear all kinds of things, But I got to tell you, it goes back to the same kind of thing. You know, the vast majority of the people in Oroville are really good people. They're friendly people. They're hardworking people. And I think I understand the reason that the reputation exists. I mean,
Sure.
Oroville was born out of the gold rush, right?
Sure.
So you had these rough and tumble,
Yeah.
hard scrabble kind of people coming to the area, right?
Yeah.
And then those who set down roots, you know, were here when the dam got built. And so the people that were building the dam, they were, again, hardworking,
Yeah.
blue collar kind of people. And I think that reputation held on. But at the core of it, there's a lot of really good people, and there's a lot of really good things going on in Oroville.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and yes, we are Oroville based, this podcast, but I mean, with all of, like what you said earlier, all of Butte County, you know, I mean, I think, even as we get into some of the questions about, with Paradise and then just the resiliency there, and with Chico, I mean, being kind of known and having the reputation, at least from the outside, as like a college town, but it's more than a college town.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
just the art scene and all
Yes,
of those
yes.
things.
Chico, great example. You know,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's got the
Does that give you? Sorry, we can hear a siren.
We
You
can't hear
probably
sirens. Except,
I don't know if that makes your heart.
I think we're in if it was really that bad, somebody would be calling me on my
Okay.
phone right now. Exactly right. But you talk about Chico.
Yeah.
Chico. Probably as a result of, back in the, late 70s and early 80s has this reputation of a party town, party school.
Yeah.
And they've had a heck of a time trying to live that down.
Right.
But you're absolutely right. There's so much more to Chico
Yeah.
than that whole party scene. I think actually that's dissipated quite a lot over the years.
Yes.
Certainly it's different than when I first started in law enforcement.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of great things going on in all the communities here in Butte County.
Yeah, and even with I don't know the stat, but it's something like when you hear a negative comment about a place or someone or whatever, it takes so many. I think it's like 12 to 15. I don't know. We'd have to look up the stat, but positive comments to kind of dissolve that negative one.
Sure.
Which is why sometimes it can take many years to kind of rebrand, if
Right,
you will,
right.
certain regions. So
Yeah, and that's probably goes back to a flaw in human nature that we tend to be more interested in the negative or salacious than in the positive. And likewise, I think a falsehood or a lie, will make it around the world before the truth ever gets its shoes on. Right?
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Before it ever gets its shoes on.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
so true.
Exactly.
No, I love that. Well, okay, as we kind of, another little prompting question, but kind of a business nugget,
Okay.
if you will. You're the sheriff, so it's kind of like, so we always ask people, what is kind of your elevator pitch? But I don't know, if you were to say what you do here in Butte County, could you even sum it up in even what you do? It's like, okay, well, sheriff kind of should give us
Sure.
a clue,
Sure.
but there's a lot more to that.
There is. And so my understanding or perception of what my job as a sheriff has really evolved. A lot to do with the fact that we've been through so many things.
Yeah.
If you had first asked me this question, early on in my career or when I first became sheriff, I think I would have, talked something about, public safety and fighting crime and so forth and so on. But what I've found is that as sheriff, I'm the person that people call when the problem is unsolvable by anybody else, right? When it seems like it's at the worst, they tend to look to me in my office.
Yeah.
And so we're in this position where we end up dealing with all kinds of things that you wouldn't necessarily think are traditional law enforcement, but they pose a threat to public safety, and so people look to us.
Yeah. Well, like the Oroville Dam
Correct. Exactly.
crisis.
Yes.
I remember where I was.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We all do,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes, yeah.
The campfire,
Right,
which
right.
is, just everyone, I feel like the
Yes.
world knows about this now, even
Yeah.
with the documentary and then the movie. And yeah, I remember, well, it is no more, but Cornucopia Restaurant, that's
Right.
where I was.
Is that right? Okay.
when
got
we
it, yeah.
saw the plume
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
up. And
yeah.
yeah, I don't know if you wanted to go, I don't even know what to ask there, because it's just such a thing
It is. It is.
It's like, how do
right.
you even? I
Right.
don't even know how to.
Well,
I have some questions
let me
later,
okay. I
but-
mean, we can talk about a question later. You can answer.
Yeah,
I guess I would sum it up like, one of the things that I never contemplated when I first became sheriff is that I would become the sheriff of disasters. And in many respects, my tenure as sheriff has been defined by these significant disasters that have had this incredible impact on every member of our community.
Right.
Visited trauma upon all the people who live here. And
Yeah.
you look at the dam, the spillway situation, and I'll tell you. I mean, when you become sheriff, there's no class on how to deal with a potential
There's no
dam
rule book.
failure.
Yeah,
There's no, exactly.
What do you? Yeah.
And when that happened, I was trying to focus on what I thought was best for my community, my constituents. I was only worried about the people who live here.
Yeah.
And that, at some times during that particular incident, put me at odds with the state officials because they seemed to be more focused on state issues as opposed to local officials.
Sure. Not like
yeah.
this is affecting us right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, after the dam incident, I thought, well, this is the biggest thing I'll ever deal with. So, it's all downhill from here.
I'm laughing because otherwise I'll cry about it.
As it turned out, that was not the case.
Yeah.
And, you have the campfire, but then you have every other fire and potential disaster that has happened in between them that we don't remember the names because they didn't rise to the level of the campfire, but they were still significant in their own right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I am curious, like, have you, well, as I get into this next question, and again, feel free to share as much as you want, but as we kind of mine the heart a little bit, was there anything, even as you look at how you've been able to work through these disasters with the community, was there anything early on that kind of prepared you for that? I mean, I know you can never be prepared,
right.
But I mean, but you in your own right have your own sense, your own resiliency, your own level head about it. I'm just curious to know if there was anything before that kind of prepared you for that, or why you started getting into this type of work.
Well, I think I got into the work. I mean, as we talked about earlier, I got an opportunity, kind of fell into it.
Sure.
As it turned out, I really did enjoy the work. I've enjoyed every aspect of my career. It's interesting being on this end of my career, the latter end of the career, right?
Yeah.
Because I look back now and I can think about, I think, over 30 years now I've been doing this job.
Yeah.
And when I think back about all of the significant events that I've been involved in, they all center around tragedy and crisis and disaster. Even, early on when I was, a patrol deputy and handling calls, or when I was a detective working murder cases.
Wow.
Those are all really horrible things.
Yeah.
And so you might think, wow, if that's your collective experience, you must view that as a really negative thing. And what I find is I look back on that and think to myself, wow, what an amazing career, what an amazing opportunity. I really enjoyed the ability to be able to do all of that. And as a result of that, I did have a good deal of success throughout my career in the various assignments that I ultimately was tasked with. And I think that's what ultimately prepared me. One of the things that I innately do, I continually look for new challenges to take on, new hard things to do.
Yeah.
And, obviously when I first started in law enforcement, I couldn't have done the things that I do now because I didn't have the collection of overcoming hard things that I do now. Right? But every time you do something hard and you get through it, it prepares you for the next hard thing and the next hard thing.
And builds confidence,
Absolutely,
I'm sure, too.
absolutely,
You're like,
exactly.
I did this hard thing.
Exactly, right.
I've done this before.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, now I'm like, hopefully there's no other.
Agreed. Hopefully there's no other hard things to do that impact the community.
Yes, right.
The way these things. But every single day I look for new challenges and new hard things to do just to stay able to, live in the chaos and I call it stress inoculation. It's something I really work on.
Say more about that. Stress inoculation. So, like, what does that mean?
So I firmly believe that I don't think that you can be happy as a human being unless you're continually striving to, to be a better person, to do better things, which means there's struggle involved.
Yeah.
If you only pursue a life of comfort, I think that's a false pursuit. I don't think that in the end you're going to be very happy. And so that is kind of a core of that. I also find that resiliency is a really, really important characteristic to have because life is going to throw things at you that you can't control.
Yeah.
And your ability to deal with the stress of that, the chaos of that, is a learned practice behavior. And so if you don't inoculate yourself against that stress on a daily basis, then when the time comes for that to happen, I think that you run the risk of being crushed, overwhelmed by. And so I try to, again, inject stress into my life, controlled chaos, if you will, in a way that keeps me sharp and able to deal with that.
Yeah. That's so good.
I don't know if it's good or not,
no,
but that's what I do.
So good.
Okay.
Well, I think because it may be something that comes naturally to you now, or I don't know. Some of us
you have to
are
work
just,
at it. You have to work at it.
Okay, so that's what that
You got
was
to put
my
yourself out.
question.
Yeah.
Is that you? So even for those viewers watching, because sorry, my
okay.
brain is just like, this is so good. I don't really have very large muscles. But I'm thinking of like when you go to the gym.
That absolutely.
And putting that controlled stress.
Exactly.
You almost have to, if you want to grow. I do know the science, I think.
Yeah.
But in order to grow a muscle, you actually have to strain it.
Absolutely.
Right?
You tear it a little.
You tear
it. You do. You're right. You lift heavy, you tear the muscle a little bit, it repairs itself. It gets stronger, it gets bigger. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
So then so with people who, if it's a skill, if resiliency is something that can be built, I mean, and the community has resiliency as a whole, but as an individual person that might be trying to build some resiliency in their life, do you have advice for that type of person? Like is the gym good enough? Or
so I'm a big proponent of going to the gym, being physically fit, doing physical things, because I think there is a strong correlation between physical well-being and mental well-being. I don't think you can separate the two.
Okay.
That said, I would take it back one step further, which is do hard things. Now, what's hard for me might not be hard for you.
Sure.
Right? So that's an individual journey that you have to find on your own. But you have to do the things that scare you a little bit and go, this is scary, it's uncomfortable. I don't know if I'm going to like it. I might fail, but I'm going to give it a shot. And then be okay with the uncomfortableness of it all. Be okay with the failure of it all, right?
But if it feels like you're dying.
At some point, obviously, within reason of that. But no, I think if more people were willing to embrace that, would get comfortable being uncomfortable, I think that they would be a much, much happier group of people.
Yeah. Interesting. I love that because I'm spending some time here because I just think that, even as you said, just even happiness or fulfillment, your kind of belief is that you can't have that without struggle a bit.
You can't.
Or some
You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you know that? How do you really enjoy life and appreciate the great things about life if you don't have some struggle to compare it to, right? If everything is just perfect all the time, you have no reference to understand, hey, I've really got it good. And then along with that, then this whole gratitude, which is another really important thing.
I was just going to say gratitude.
Okay, so gratitude
Yes.
is so hugely important in my view.
Yes.
From a perspective standpoint, if you don't have the ability to go, hey, these are the things in my life that I'm really thankful for, I'm really happy about. Even the things that aren't going the way you want them to go, if you can mine them for the gold nugget of gratitude, right? See, I got that.
Yeah, you're getting it.
I understand that. I got the assignment, exactly. No, but seriously, I mean, sometimes in the worst situations, to keep from becoming just overwhelmed and collapsing in the chaos, I think to myself, okay, yeah, all this crap is going wrong, but what's the one thing I can be thankful for?
Oh,
What's the one thing? And to just kind of focus on that and then move to the next thing.
Yeah. That's so interesting too, because you said the gratitude. I just came from, I introduced someone. I said something from a meeting earlier today, and I messed up some of the words. And I got in the car, and I was just like, as I was coming back to the studio, and that cringe feeling of like, like that. And I said, you know what? I'm so grateful that I got to introduce this person.
That's right.
You know, and I did that, and
Right.
I think that helped me
Right.
overcome that fear of however I was being perceived, or the mess up that I had, or what people thought. You know,
Right.
it doesn't
Right.
feel as weighty as you
Yeah.
know, saving a community from a natural disaster.
But I don't know. But, you know, the other thing too, you bring up what other people think too, and I think, you know, sometimes that goes akin to another kind of thing that I keep as a mantra, which is, you know, comparison is a thief of joy, right? When you're continually comparing yourself, or you're worried about what other people think of you, and in some respects, that's a bit self-centered. Most people actually don't care enough about you to think that much. So I suspect all of the people who were there are all dealing with their own world, and they don't remember that you maybe mispronounced a word, right?
Yes,
exactly.
yes,
right.
that's so funny. So my dad actually used to say that when we were in junior high school. He's like, listen, people are more, he would say, people are more concerned what you think of them than what they think of you. And that's always stuck with me.
100%, right.
So,
because we're all the main character of our own story, right?
Right,
Everybody
right.
else is just a supporting player.
Except for you, when we had the campfire memes. Sorry, I'm going to go into
We're
that
gonna go
because I
into
said
that.
I would do it
All right,
before
fair
before
enough.
we head to a commercial break. But
Okay.
would you? So Jay, so if I explained a little bit earlier, but so when I remember where we were, and we were feeling as a community, at least my little hub of people, we were feeling helpless, right?
sure.
Like how
I was feeling helpless. Yeah.
Right.
I understand. Yeah.
So we're like, what can we do? And
Yeah.
then the community came together, and we were, you know, everyone pooled their stuff, and we were giving away stuff. Like, we just need something to do instead of
Right.
sit and feel all of these things.
Right.
And so my husband, James, made some memes.
Yes, some memes, yes.
and posted, I think the first one he posted was "In Honey We Trust."
Okay.
And put that on the internet, on Facebook at the time, and it just, the shares that, I don't think you intended it, you were just put it up there.
Right.
And people started sharing it
Yeah.
all over. And then he was like, well, this is cool. And so then he started making more, and then a couple other members of the community.
Right.
And then he ended up being interviewed by, who was it? San Francisco news station.
Is that right? Okay. All right.
Yes.
Very cool. Very
and
cool.
he was interviewed by them. And then it circulated back to us later that you were not happy with the memes.
Oh, no.
Or no. It was like kind of an annoyance.
So
Feel free. We
Okay.
are totally fine.
Okay, got
You
it.
could be
So-
completely transparent.
So
with
I
us.
guess to start with, so that took off,
Yeah. What the heck?
and I was unaware of it for a while.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
I was so involved in obviously the management of that disaster and things like that, that thing had gotten legs and was moving before it came to my attention. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Yes.
And then someone brought it to my attention. I saw the, and obviously they, and they were very flattering memes. They were kind of fun, but the thing about the internet is it can be very fickle, right?
Sure.
And you never know that 1 second things are going well, and the next second, somebody starts making memes of you casting you in a negative light, right?
I see.
And so, because during that particular time, I mean, every single day presented a new challenge, a new problem, a new opportunity to make a bad decision that everybody was going to hate me for, right? I mean, that's the world that I'm living in. You follow me?
No, that makes so much sense.
Right, exactly right. And so these things are going on, and so I was not irritated with it. I was nervous about it, if that makes any sense, right?
Yes.
Nervous. The other thing is I didn't have a lot of time to review all of them. As a matter of fact,
There were so many.
There were so many.
Yeah.
There were so many. And so it was like months and months later that I finally had an opportunity to like look at a lot of the ones that were, and some of them were hilarious. I was like, that is really funny. I wish I would have seen that in the darkest days.
Sure,
right? Exactly.
yeah.
Right. Exactly. So that was going on, and it took a little while. A little while. I mean, it was a week or so into the whole thing, and I started having more and more people come up to me and mention the memes. Like, oh, Sheriff, we saw the meme and it was hilarious and it just made us happy. And what I realized that the memes were really not about me. They were really about the community having something to provide it with a little bit of a relief from a horrible situation, right?
Yeah.
And I just happened to be the guy at the moment that was that provided the conduit for that whole thing. But once I framed it in my own mind that, hey, this isn't so much about me, it's just about my community needing something to give them a break from the horrible crap that we're dealing with. It was like, okay, it was
We'll allow it.
Yeah, it was all good. It was all good. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for for allowing us to.
But so James, I mean, what was your thought?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And how it really started was one night there was a bunch of buses at Las Plumas.
Okay, that's right.
And the community was running with a bunch of conspiracy theories about how Orville was going to get ready to be evacuated. And my dear friend, who's a music teacher at Stream Charter School, said, "I trust Honey, and whatever he says, I'm going to listen to that." And so I thought I'd make a meme to try to calm the community down from the conspiracy theories. And it touched a nerve, as you said, and it really was just about like, let's respect our emergency officials and also listen to them, because the chaos in the midst of more chaos is not going to be helpful. And it really did create just a little bit of light and levity in the midst of a dark time. And so that was the whole purpose was just kind of squash conspiracy.
So I love that story, and I'll tell you why. Because when government works well, that's the way it should work. Unfortunately, we have lots of examples of when government doesn't work well. And there's a lot of reasons to not trust government officials, unfortunately. But what I love about that is, I mean, obviously, I was managing that situation the best I could. I didn't do everything perfectly. There's a lot of things that, in retrospect, I could have done better. But one of the things that I because of just the nature is just defaulting to, okay, folks, this is what's going on, and this is what I think we need to do, so this is what we're going to do. And I think that resonated with people. But I love the fact that that generated trust, and at the same time, it allowed that meme allowed you to very simply and quickly and easily communicate, like, hey, so far things are going okay. Let's see how this plays out with this guy or this situation. And I think that helped a lot.
Yeah, I had forgotten about all of the conspiracy. Yeah, because even going back to what you had said of it can change on a dime.
Absolutely.
And so, there were like rumbling things, and you were like, dude. Yeah, I remember that with our buddy. I'll say his name, Matt. When Matt was like, "I trust in Honey we trust," or what did he say? I trust the sheriff. So it was just really cool.
So you talk about if you let me digress just a moment, or just kind of take it down. So conspiracy theories are a really, really challenging thing to deal with when you're a public, when you're a law enforcement leader in these kind of situations.
Yeah.
And the internet has this ability to just spread them. And I really learned this during the spillway incident. So you talk about gratitude. So let's digress.
Yes, absolutely.
So the spillway was horrible. It traumatized the community. But I am thankful that I had the opportunity to lead in that crisis, because had I not had that experience, I wouldn't have been as prepared to deal with the campfire. You follow me?
Yeah.
It gets back to that. How do you find the nugget of gratitude in the worst thing? Right. And so there were all kinds of crazy conspiracy theories with the dam that I had to deal with, like the green spot on the dam, and it was going to break. and the conspiracy that the state of California allowed it to happen so they could mine gold.
Oh, yeah.
From underneath the
Yep.
spillway.
I remember that
exactly
one, mining. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, good. And so, I got to deal with it.
Yeah.
And the campfire coming, the conspiracies were even worse. And I think the one that still resonates with me with when Marjorie Taylor Greene, it was in Congress, and put out that the forest fire was started because somebody shot lasers into the forest. And I was having to deal with that whole thing.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm thinking, people, I don't have time for this. Members of my community are dead, and you want me to address lasers. Come on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so true. Like
It is.
They can spread so fast. And
They
how
do.
do you I mean, I don't know, this once it starts spreading, it's harder to get it contained.
It is very hard. Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, thank you for sharing that.
okay,
I love
right.
that.
Okay.
Well, we are going to take a quick commercial break to hear a word from our local sponsors, and we'll be right back after these messages. All right. This week's episode of the Hearts of Gold podcast is sponsored by me, Erin Lackey Photography. And I am so excited to share with you a project that I'm currently working on that will come to fruition in October of this year. I am currently accepting nominations for women in Butte County who are 40 years and over, who are the hidden forces in their community. They are the glue that holds their families and their communities together. They usually work behind the scenes and don't necessarily get a ton of accolades or recognition. And we want to change that. We want to provide them with amazing portrait experience that ends in an art show in October where they are featured and celebrated by their families and their community. So if you know a woman who falls within that criteria and you want to nominate them, please head to seenagain.erinlackey.com. That's seenagain.erinlackey.com. So if you know a woman who falls within that criteria, if you could head to seenagain.erinlackey.com and make your nomination. That is seenagain.erinlackey.com. Submit your nomination for a woman here in Butte County who deserves to be celebrated for the amazing human that they are. And I cannot wait to reach out to them and get them highlighted and celebrated by their community and their families here in Butte County. Thanks for listening. And now back to the episode. And we're back, and we're heading into our next segment, which is called Fool's Gold. Okay. And so this is a segment where we like to ask, do you have any lessons or you chase the challenges, so we know that.
Sure.
But even in your kind of role here in our community, any regrets, any challenges that you face today that you wouldn't mind sharing with us?
That's a good question. And definitely, I'm a person who tries to be introspective and reflective of, who I am and what I do and those kinds of things. I am a person who certainly has to struggle with self-doubt. And sometimes I think I'm pretty good at reflecting a level of confidence, like, hey, I know what's going on. I know how to handle this, and we need to do that. But that doesn't come without some, hey, is this the right thing? And I don't know if this is going to work out, and I hope I'm making the right decision, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, the majority of the decisions or courses of action that I've had to take during some of these disasters have worked out and probably been the right decisions, but that's not to say that they're perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And there's lots of times where, I think, well, I wonder if we'd done it this way, if it would have been a better outcome.
Yeah.
I think that, we talked about the spillway incident being a trial run for what we dealt with in the campfire, right?
Yeah.
And granted, we were much better equipped to deal with the campfire than we would have been had that spillway not happened. But we weren't perfect by any stretch of imagination. And since then, we learned a lot from that, and a lot of it centers around like alert and warning and how you message to people, and the fact that it is a challenging thing to let people know that there is a threat coming their way.
Yeah.
And then to get them to do the things that you want them to do.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we certainly evolved in that respect. So that would be that on the grander scale. Thinking back on a more personal level. Here's one I thought. So this whole notion or idea of doing hard things to build resiliency, to create that stress inoculation, to be able to have gratitude and kind of appreciate the good things in life, wasn't something that I was born with. I had to learn that as well, right? And so, early on in my life, and you and I talked about, physical, the physical manifestation of, doing hard things, working out, those kinds of things. I spent a lot of my adult life not taking care of myself physically. I wasn't in good shape. I didn't eat healthy. I didn't eat healthy. I didn't exercise regularly. Yeah. And so that really took a toll on me. There were things that I missed out on that I wish I could have done. And I'm just thankful that I started addressing that problem shortly after I became the sheriff and prior to the spillway, because I don't think that if I hadn't gone down the path, a wellness journey and getting better physically prior to the spillway, I think that the stress that was brought about probably would have resulted in me having a heart attack. Wow. And I think probably the same with the campfire. Yeah. I don't think I'd be sitting here today if I hadn't really changed the way I live in terms of taking care of my mental and physical well-being.
Wow. That's powerful.
I don't know if it is or not, but okay.
I think so. Well, just being introspective and reflective, I think, and you've said this before too, like I don't have it all. I don't know. You're very humble and you're like, we tried some things and they happen to work.
Sure.
But I think that is one of the great marks of, or one of the marks of a great leader is someone who has a bit of vulnerability.
Sure.
True. I mean, as like, hey, and the way that you have been able to have this team around you that trusts you to lead us through hard times because you don't have it all figured out.
Absolutely. You talk about my team is great.
Yeah.
A credit to them is where it really needs to go. Exactly.
Yeah. So I just appreciate you being transparent with that question of, and even just with the health journey and all of that. So thank you for sharing that. Yeah. I was going to, when you said about alerts. Yeah. Did you see recently, and this is no shade on any department, but I thought it was hilarious. Did you see the Chico PD announced they sent out an alert recently about a bear in the community? And
yes, I
did not get the alert. I'm not in that region, but then their department responded on social media. It is hilarious. If you get a chance to go and look on their Facebook page, some of the responses that came out with the bear alert, it wasn't intentional.
Sure.
They didn't mean to send that alert, but they were like, "Hey, it works. Our alert system works." So I just thought that was funny. That came to mind. Well, we are moving into our Gold Rush round, which is rapid fire questions.
Okay, let's see.
We're gonna say what is the best.
Okay.
First thing that comes to your mind. We want to know. You can abstain from some if you don't want to share. Okay. But this is an opportunity to shout out some local businesses or some of your favorites. Or
I got a lot of. I've got so many local.
I know. Businesses. First thing though, top of mind.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
That's how we know who's doing the best marketing, really.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Okay.
All right, ready for Gold Rush round.
Sure.
So, best coffee.
Okay, so
countywide.
I drink coffee, and I'm the sheriff of the entire county. Why can't I have regions?
Okay, region. How about we'll do Oroville.
Okay,
that's fine.
All right. So lately, I have really enjoyed going to the Union
Coffee Club.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yes.
Yeah, I've enjoyed that.
Right around the corner.
Yeah. And in Chico, I go to the Naked Lounge.
Okay. That one's come up a couple times too. Yep.
And in Durham, I go to Chatterbox.
Chatterbox. Oh, I don't know Durham coffee places. Okay. Good to know. Okay. Best. Okay, I don't know if you can do your regions. That's fine. Best tacos.
I go to Burrito Bandito in Chico. That's where
Burrito
I get
Bandito!
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know that I get tacos anywhere else.
Okay,
Yeah,
I love it.
Okay,
This
okay.
is great.
Okay.
Best hiking spot. Are you a hiker?
I do like to hike. Obviously, Bidwell Park is
Okay.
pretty incredible. That Northrum Trail. I
Yeah.
like to do that one. I'm glad you brought this out. It's been years and years and years since I've hiked Mount Lassen, and this year, as soon as the snow melts enough, I'm going to go hike Mount Lassen.
We did that last year for the first, James's second time, my
Okay.
first time.
Okay.
We did it.
Fantastic.
It was so hard.
That's good. So you did something
I
hard.
did something hard, and I got sunburnt on my legs.
Okay,
And I just,
okay, all
Next
right,
time I'm wearing
okay.
leggings.
There
But
you go. Very good. Very good.
But yeah,
Okay,
it was
okay.
beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was. I was not prepared.
Yes. Okay.
They said, "Oh yeah, there's some switchbacks."
There's a lot of switchbacks.
some.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
yeah,
so
yeah.
okay, that's
Yeah,
good to know. Mount Lassen.
Okay.
I can attest it is
Yeah.
very hard, but also very beautiful.
Yeah.
Best grocery store.
Wagon Wheel Market.
Hey, that was no hesitation. I'll take that.
Wagon Wheel Market. Yeah.
Best breakfast spot.
Oh, okay. So, I don't eat breakfast generally.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
So,
Breakfast food,
it's a
maybe?
rare. Usually, when I eat breakfast is when my wife is off and we get to go to breakfast together.
Okay.
Where we normally go is to the Chatterbox in Durham.
Really?
That is-
okay.
That's where we go. Yeah.
Chatterbox getting
Yeah,
two
I know.
out of
I'm
the.
sorry, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
hey. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to go check it out.
Exactly.
Best local event.
Oh man.
I know it's hard.
There's a lot of good events.
I know. I don't know. Is there any triggering things? Because you're like, oh, usually we have some stuff some things we gotta manage with
I don't
the
know.
events.
I don't know. So a lot of the events I go to are work related because there's a work component
Oh,
to
okay.
it.
Okay.
All right. So here I'm gonna throw one out.
Okay.
A little obscure, but I've gotten to go twice now.
Okay.
And I'm going to go Saturday night, and that is the fights that are being held out at the old casino on 149 Machupta Event Center, and they have been hosting mixed martial arts fights.
No way.
They have,
I did not know that.
I have been incredibly impressed with the talent.
Really?
Last time, one of my correctional deputies competed and fought and won his fight. And this upcoming Saturday, one of my correctional deputies, Benito Lopez, who fought in the UFC, is going to fight. And I'm so excited that I get to go watch him fight. It's going to be fantastic.
That's like a new bubble unlocked. I did not know that was happening.
I'm telling you.
Is there a website? Is there something where people
there's
can
an
go?
event that Machupta, I think, Event Center has the site.
Get tickets?
Yeah.
Okay,
but
that's so
yeah, no,
neat.
it's a really the community that's involved in that, and the people who train to fight, and kickboxing and jiu-jitsu and all the people that come together. So it's just a good crowd, and I enjoy it.
I love that. I think one of our sons would really enjoy watching that too. So
fantastic.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Well, I usually have this. That is the gold brush round.
Okay.
Good job.
Okay,
You did
okay,
it.
yeah, I got it.
Flying colors.
Okay.
So I usually like to ask your golden nugget of wisdom, but we had some questions. We did.
We covered that.
But we had some questions because
Okay.
I polled our viewers and some followers on Instagram, Facebook. So we had some questions come that they were excited to ask.
Well, let's see. Let's see what.
I
okay,
know. So
okay,
we'll see.
okay.
We kind of answered that one. What did I? Oh, well, okay. I'm going to ask this one.
Okay.
From Kim Bjork.
Okay.
She asks, what advice would you give young people who want to pursue leadership or public service careers?
Yeah. So I keep going back to that thing, which is do hard things, do things that make you uncomfortable, get comfortable being uncomfortable, because as a leader, that's the world that you live in. And so what does that mean? It doesn't necessarily mean, hey, go take this class or that class, but if you're a young person and, you have the opportunity to join, clubs that put you into leadership roles, you should do it. If you have the opportunity to, speak in front of crowds and you're scared to do that, go do that.
Go do that.
Anything that you find hard and scary, jump into it and do it, and that's going to make you a much, much better leader.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you, Kim, for the question.
Yeah.
So how do, kind of as we wrap things up, this is claim your gold, your stake in the ground.
Yeah.
How do people, what's the best way to, we don't want people contacting you.
Okay.
But how do people stay in, up to date, I guess,
Sure.
with things that are happening, public announcements?
Yeah.
What's the best way for people to, be in the know,
Sure.
with public safety and all of those things?
Well, of course, the Sheriff's Office, we have a Facebook page and an Instagram page and a YouTube channel, and I would recommend that you follow all of that. I have a podcast, which I cover a whole host of topics and have interviewed some really interesting people.
Yeah.
And, talked about their stories and things like that. So I think that's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
I do have my own social media pages, but to be candid, over the course of my tenure as sheriff, I've become less and less personally engaged in social media because I find that it's an incredible waste of my time. I'd much rather just live in the moment and do things that are in the real world.
Yes. Hey, that's a fantastic answer for social media.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so
thank you.
much
No, it was fun.
for being here. And then I always like to say thank you for having a heart of gold.
Well, I appreciate you characterizing it like that. And I guess I would say every single day I try to ensure that I have a heart of gold. Some days it's easier than others.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Sheriff Kory Honea.
Thank
Yay!
you. Thank you so much. All right. I actually really like podcasts. That's why I started my own. I consume most of my news and information that I really want to dive into are from podcasts. And I listen to a whole host of podcasts.
Yeah.
And so that's why I started a podcast, because
Got a little.
But the nice thing about it is that then you have a diversity. You can watch it, or if you're in your car, you can listen to it. It doesn't matter. It's either way is fine.
Yeah.
All right, where are we going?
Well, we're going.
Okay.
You were there.
I appreciate it. So I'll tell one more story on that. And
oh wait, do we want to record it or no? No. Okay, fine. Yeah.
We'll see. So all right, last thing on that. I know, isn't that crazy?
Oh my gosh. You and the mug and me together.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, we'll do that.
It was a weird time.
We're all
struggling.
weird.
We were all trying to find our way. Yeah.
No.